who goes by the handle Queer Surgeon on TikTok and who chops the breasts off of minor girls for a living, is speaking out now in his own defense. And by the way, he's quite proud of what he does and is not embarrassed or ashamed at all. And here he is justifying himself.
So I'm here to clarify and speak some truths about what's happening with gender-affirming care in adolescents. Most of the bills that are going through right now aim to limit this care for people under the age of 18. And there's this false narrative that a lot of teenagers are having gender-affirming surgery. Most of the teenagers that are having surgery are getting chest surgery, and most of that is happening before 18 because these individuals didn't have access to early enough medical treatment. So using surgery as sort of this false narrative to attack gender-affirming care as a whole is not correct. The truth is that by limiting access to medical care with some of these bills, you're actually going to cause more people to need gender-affirming surgical care.
So the real headline there is that we've got this guy, the queer surgeon, quote unquote, admitting that most of the quote chest surgeries, which really is mutilation, they're just chopping the breasts off of physically healthy girls, most of it is happening to minor girls before the age of 18. And he even admits there's a lot of it happening. But tries to draw some sort of distinction between quote unquote gender affirming surgery and this. He said, oh, there's this false narrative that there's all kinds of this surgeries happening to kids. Oh, it's mostly just the top surgeries. Yeah, that's you're chopping body parts off of children. A lot of them. This is currently happening in the United States of America. 14-year-old girls are being brought in and having their body parts removed. And for all the talk of the backlash, the much needed and deserved backlash against this kind of thing, I mean, these people are still, they're not worried. They're out in public talking about it. And of course, everything he says is just completely false. The only honest thing we heard there is that there's a lot of this happening, and it's mostly happening to minor girls. He's right about that. Everything else is total nonsense. Starting with the claim that this is medical care. This is not medical care. You know, if you're chopping off a body part, there are times when chopping off a body part is medical care. There are times when limbs and parts of the body have to be removed. Double mastectomy because of for a cancer patient. Okay, that's medical care. Somebody has their leg horribly mangled and you have to take the leg off. That's medical care. But when you are removing physically healthy body parts from a physically healthy person, that is not medical care. That is mutilation by definition. And he also makes this claim that this is only happening because these girls are not given the medical care they need earlier in life. And if they got that quote unquote medical care, then we wouldn't have all these surgeries. Total nonsense. Not only because it's not actually medical care that he's talking about, but also because, like, what is he referring to? What he's saying is that, well, these girls, who I guess he would say are boys, even though they have breasts that that he thinks need quote unquote to be chopped off. But if they were given like hormone blockers and hormone pills and stuff like that, then we wouldn't be, and not enough of these kids are being given the drugs early enough in life. So for him, the solution is to drug more kids and to drug them earlier in life. But he damn well knows that all the drugs do and all they're really meant to do is put the kids on the path to surgical mutilation. I mean, the drugs are not going to stop a girl from growing breasts permanently. In fact, they're the ones who always say that it's temporary. Puberty blockers are temporary. That's what they always claim. And reversible. The reversible part is also not true. That's a lie. So there are just so many. Every time these people speak, they speak for 45 seconds, and there are so many lies that it's overwhelming. It's hard to even know where to begin in sifting through all this. But They themselves say it's a temporary thing. Okay, so you're giving the puberty blockers temporary, even though even from the temporary use of the puberty blockers, there's now going to be lifelong effects. But then you take them off the puberty blockers, now what? Well, the next step is to put them in for surgery. That's why this guy who makes a lot of money chopping the breasts off of girls, that's why he wants more girls on the drugs and wants them on drugs earlier. Because that creates the factory conveyor belt of girls who are going to eventually make their way over to him. Because most of the kids who are put on these drugs, they end up going the whole way. They're now in the system, they're on the drugs, they're on the conveyor belt, and then not all that far down the line, you get to the butcher with the scalpel. And he's sitting there with his pockets open, waiting to make some more money off of it.